Jamie and skin2it.com. I'm here with Jamie today. She's our model for a trigger point session. She's never had a trigger point session before, so hopefully this isn't too painful for her. Trigger points, a lot of people don't know what this is. Trigger points, everybody has them, and a trigger point can be formed anywhere in the body, anywhere that there is muscle, and any muscle that you use on a daily basis. For example, let's see, if you're a student and you carry a handbag or even a backpack, just because you overwork the muscles in your shoulder, you will get trigger points in your shoulder. And what a trigger point is, it's just, let's say that this is your muscle will lie flat like this for most of the time, but when it's overworked, when it's overstressed, when something isn't working right, the muscle tends to just knot up and it forms like this lump. And usually underneath that lump there will form crystals or a liquid will form, and the muscle will stay like that, which is overstretched. The muscle is not supposed to be able to stretch like that to form that lump. It's supposed to lie flat. And so usually you can find it on the body by feeling around or palpating with your fingertips or your palms. And so that's what we're going to do today for Jamie. She is an esthetician, and so she does use her arms and shoulders a lot, especially above here. And when you do that, you use your and the muscles right underneath your scapula, usually in the rhomboid area. And so she's probably going to have a few good ones, especially right there. That one. And what you want to do for a trigger point is, on a scale of 1 to 10, you always want to have your client stay at a happy 7. 10 is too painful, 1 is not painful enough, you're not pressing on that lump hard enough to where it'll go down and deflate. And so you want to have your client say, oh, that's a 7, you know that's good enough, and you want to hold it there for a couple seconds. So I'm going to press on that point, and I want you to tell me when it comes to a 7. You're going to hold that point. You usually want to hold it for a minute, because when you're pressing on that muscle, pushing it down, it senses that something's not right. And usually if it's really a bad trigger point, it'll start jumping around and moving, and you can kind of feel the liquid and the crystallites releasing into other parts of the body. And hopefully that'll happen for Jamie here. And you can tell me when to press harder, because after you press for a while, you can move up on pressure. Tell me when it's a 7.
No.
I'm actually pressing a lot harder than I did last time. So that means that the trigger point is releasing and her muscles are jumping around. So they're very happy if they're jumping around. It's for joy, trust me, even though it hurts. And can I press harder now?
Mm-hmm.
And usually on a trigger point, once the client can feel what a trigger point is, they can usually pinpoint it exactly. And so Jamie, am I right on that trigger point, or is it around there? Yeah, I'm right on it. Another good thing about trigger point, after the client has experienced the session, when they go out into daily activities, you can tell when you're not using your muscles right, because you'll start to feel that muscle contracting and forming that lump. And so you'll be able to, when you see a massage therapist, you'll be able to say, hey, I have a trigger point right here, and you can definitely point that out for them. Can I press harder?
Mm-hmm.
Trigger points aren't very good for the body just because they keep the muscle contracted, and if you get big enough trigger points, and especially bad enough ones, they do limit your range of motion and what you can do with your body, and it can contribute to aka soreness, like, oh my goodness, my shoulders are so sore. Your shoulders aren't really sore, and you can move them. The trigger point is just limiting because the muscle is so bunched up in so many locations that it's minimizing your muscle, so your muscle can't move as far as it could regularly. And I think that trigger point's just about done. Once you have that trigger point done, you do want to strip out the muscle, because now that the trigger point, the liquid or the crystallites have deflated, they're just resting underneath. And so you don't want them to stay there, because regularly, if you just leave them there, they'll just form back up again once you start using that muscle. So you want to make sure to strip it out. You can use fingertips, you can use palm, you can use any manner of tool, just as long as you can move that fluid and liquid around and spread it around. And you just want to do that for a couple of minutes, just a couple of strokes in either direction. And that is how you fix a trigger point in the muscle.